Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm at your bedroom door.
The one that always scared me was the one where there was a lady and she had her dog and it licked her hand in the middle of the night after she heard a dripping noise, but then she woke up in the morning and the dripping noise was her dog and it was like being killed, so it was dripping blood on the floor. So then what licked her hand?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Greetings, my name is Quetzalcoatl. I am the Aztec deity of wind and learning.
Yep, I'm Brian Ferry, ex-lead singer of Roxy Music and solo artist in my own right.
And as ever, I am Alisdair.
Ha! What a trick. My name's actually Jamie. I'm a 20-year-old university student from the city of Wellington, New Zealand. What a ruse.
How disappointing.
Welcome to
right
Get Your
over
Hands
your
Off
eyes.
My Dogcast, episode 4. The podcast where we discuss films about dogs.
And this week, we are returning to the beloved Air Bud franchise with Air Bud Golden Receiver.
That is right. A film cherished by Oliver.
Yeah, it's certainly a return to me, not just to the franchise, but to this movie, which I accidentally watched for episode 1 rather than the original Air Bud. So, this film has been in my head for quite a while, and it's going to be a relief to get some stuff out.
Well,
work through some stuff.
That's good, Oliver. Before we get into any discussion of the film, which I'm sure the listeners will be clamouring for, do you have an icebreaker to just, loosen ourselves up a bit?
Yeah. Do you... I can't remember how was it phrased? Do you... Hey, can you love?
I am unable to love.
You're unable?
My heart is but stone.
Willing or just...
It was turned to stone by a witch.
But do you want to be able to love, or are you just content with
the
it?
tender age of 3. No, I'd like to love. Unfortunately, I was cursed.
Okay. It's a real shame
I
to hear
sold
that.
my soul to her.
Did you get anything in exchange?
Yeah, it was for a pack of Hubba Bubba.
Fair enough.
Which flavour? Grape?
Yeah, great.
Lovely.
Looking back, fairly poor decision.
Did you ever get one of those Hubba Bubba strings and eat the whole thing?
Oh yeah,
just
that was the
bite
best way to
into
do
That's
it. Yeah,
incredible.
you just the disc ones, and you just take off, you just open it up and just fucking take a massive bite out of it. Yeah, that's what I do.
The weight of it, the volume that just goes in.
Strap of fucking suckers. You got to get right in there. It's the only way.
It's incredible. And then the bubbles you can blow. But that was a worthwhile deal to not be able to love. But
Sometimes
surprised I haven't heard this story
sometimes
before.
I do miss the feeling of love. I live a fairly cold, lifeless existence. Alistair, what about you? Are you able to love?
I am able to love. I generally choose not to for religious reasons.
Okay. What religion is this?
Well, it's mainly self-worship, if I'm honest. I feel that loving other people would kind of detract from my narcissistic love of myself.
Fair point. Good one.
And that's not really something I'm willing to do. But maybe at some point in the future, when I've finished my self-adoration, then maybe we'll move on to somebody else. Doesn't seem likely.
I was going to say, I don't see that ever happening. Shall we discuss Air Bud Golden Receiver?
Absolutely.
But first, Oliver, can you love?
Yes, I'm entirely normal. There is no anecdote to go with that. I'm fine. I can love. I'm a good guy. All right.
He's not fine.
He is so not fun.
He's really fucked. Air Bud Golden Receiver. What happens in this movie?
What a film it was, Jamie. There were highs, there were lows. There was a whole lot of bits where I didn't feel anything at all.
I found mostly lows.
Yeah.
I was not a huge fan, but we'll get into that later on. So the plot.
Okay,
Let's go through
plot.
it. Yes. Yeah. It's very
Guys, you know the premise of the film. Air Bud is a dog who loves
and the
sports.
premise.
The premise.
Okay, fuck you both.
Okay.
Sometimes words are difficult.
That's true.
Or you're just, talking to our French listeners.
I am. I like to appeal. Look, Oliver, we're an international
J'ai tombé dans l'escalier. I'm aware of that.
Oui.
Good on you.
enfants de la patrie.
So, it's the same structure as Air Bud, in which we learn that he could play basketball, but this time we learn that he can play football. Josh is a few years older. He's a surly teen.
There's a bit of a subplot in this film with a new man in his mother's life. Long-time fans of the podcast will recall that his father died of it in a tragic.
Tragic, yes.
In a tragic accident, or at least was alleged to die in a tragic accident. Obviously, he's now an alcoholic clown in Canada.
Listen to episode 1 for more on that.
So yeah, there's a bit of a subplot with a new man, a vet named Patrick.
Patrick Troughton, the second actor to play Doctor Who.
I believe that's incorrect. I believe it was Patrick Sullivan.
Oh yeah, he was 10 years dead from having sex. Okay. So
That is not what's going on.
that's how Patrick Troughton died, though, and it's a good tale. All right.
That sounds it.
What is? How did he die?
There's not much more to it than that. He was having sex with a fan, I think dressed as the second Doctor, had a heart attack at a convention. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Allegedly, but
That's fantastic.
I'm pretty sure it's true.
Well, I mean, a man died, so it's, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but what a way to go.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll agree with that. This is definitely going out in a blaze of glory. Back to the plot of the film. Yes, there's a new man. Josh is not happy. He's you know, he doesn't want a new father. And at the same time, this father's also like, "Hey, do you like football?" And Josh is like, "No, I'm more of a basketball guy." And this guy's just really trying to push the football angle on him. And he's like, "Listen, mate, I'm a fucking basketball player, all right?" So he's really just
you can't
getting
like
under
two
his skin.
sports at the same time.
Oh, you just
But
can't.
that, as we later learn from the wise but overweight coach, is something that you can actually do.
Coach Finelli.
Yeah, finale.
Just say it like that. You don't have to.
He's always
get all this-
seen eating. He's always got like a sandwich hanging
He's-
out of his mouth.
Good
He's your
character choice.
archetypal overweight Italian coach.
Yeah, looks kind of like a taller Danny DeVito.
And that's really all there is. You know, the dog plays the sport as well, and they end up winning.
Oh wait, no, there's also this.
Oh, there are some dog nappers.
No,
Yeah, there are dog nappers, and they want Air Bud for their circus
Pretty-
of animal performance. It's.
That's really
I feel
thinking
like
about it. That's incredibly underdeveloped, and you know, it's not fun to watch.
It's a really
So,
terrible.
They're inept, and
Yeah.
she's not
terrible performances.
it really has almost no impact on the film.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that at all. They had nowhere near as much screen presence as Mr. Happy Slappy or
Exactly.
Mr. Snively as he was
There
known
was no-
from the first Airbud.
Yeah, like I don't know, like just thinking about it, like they're like, oh yeah, we want to kidnap this dog, and then they do. And then Josh looks from him and he's like, oh, well, I better go to the sports game. And then Air Bud just turns up at the sports game with Patrick. So I was like, oh, okay, well, it's kind of resolved itself, really.
Oh, because
I mean, Air Bud escapes.
Airbud like gets out of where they're keeping him.
And there's a
keeping
good
him.
scene with a chimp dressed in overalls, but I mean, just generally speaking, it's not really like.
No,
it
they
doesn't
add,
seem- it
they
doesn't
add
connect.
nothing to the film. It's just like
Yeah.
it's to be honest, yeah, because I guess it's like trying to add like another threat to the film and stuff. But I feel like there's enough sort of conflict with Josh not liking the new father.
Yeah,
and that
like-
feels more like grounded and not fucking stupid. So I
felt-
wasn't a fan of the villains.
Far less caperish. Yeah, it was very kind of. Oh, I don't know. I mean, like, you know,
It's
Air Bud is not a film which we're expecting to be pushing the brand
No,
to cinema.
no, but-
Even so, that was weak.
Yeah.
Even by dog
It
film
felt really
standards.
sort of Beethoven 2 level. So yeah, not great.
What did you think about the wider film, guys?
I was just going to say, just to briefly recap the film, it's basically the same plot as
Yes,
Airbud
we've
1,
done that.
except
We've done-
substituted with football.
Yeah, football, same thing.
They won
That's
the
it.
game.
That's all you need to
More or
know.
less.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess one that stood out to me was the...
No, aren't we just talking about what we actually thought of the overall film?
Yeah. Well,
What do you mean one that stood out?
That's fair enough. One of the overall films that stood out to me was Airbud 2.
I only watched one.
It really
video.
shined through today when we watched Airbud 2.
Let's just give a general review of the movie. I thought it was not to the standards of the original Airbud. I felt it lacked the same amount of heart.
Definitely enjoyed it at least.
I definitely enjoyed it the least out of the three of us. I was pretty past it towards the end of the film. The villains weren't compelling to me. There were no stakes in the football game. I didn't really care. You know, sure they were probably going to win. I assumed. You know, you
Yeah,
have
the
to
stakes
assume.
overall. Yeah,
It's
the
just-
villains, there's no...
I don't know. It just felt very by the numbers, which is a stupid thing to be saying about a film about a dog. that plays football,
I
but-
think the only real compelling plot was the bit I think the bit with Josh and the new man was actually not too badly done.
No, and I felt that was probably the bit that was sort of the most similar to Airbud 1. Because Airbud 1, it was like he was dealing with moving to a new town and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like personal issues. That was the most sort of...
It's the kind of human core of the film, and I think it kind of got left behind in this part because the three felt quite unconnected in terms of like you had like the football, and they like have to win the finals, otherwise the coach is going to be fired, and there's the bit with Patrick dating his mum, and then there's like that happening, and then there's the bit with the weird Russians who are running an animal circus, and that's happening. So the three kind of, you know, they obviously overlap, but it didn't really feel like they were strongly connected.
No. It just
In a
felt, to me,
compelling way.
it just felt like a a sequel cash grab. There was no love in this film for me.
Oh, I don't know if I'd go that far.
I would go that far.
You're a bold man, Jamie. You're pushing the boundaries of dog film
Fuck
review.
you, Air Bud Golden Receiver. You ruined everything.
But there are some bits that I did like in the film. I thought the coach in this was a compelling character.
Actually, yeah, no, he was really good.
Obviously, contrasting him to the homeless black man who eventually took over the basketball team.
Bill Cobbs.
Wasn't seen in this, but
No.
I think this coach, I liked him more. I think he was
good.
He
He
was
was one of the better parts of the movie.
He
I'll
was
give you
quite a
that.
believable character, very sympathetic.
Well, I don't know about that. He was very,
Oh.
he was very archetypal. Or
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's fair enough. But I don't know, his interactions felt genuine. They felt human.
Yeah, he had some touching moments. I think.
Yeah. I actually quite liked him as a character.
I was just clinking some beer bottles together.
Oliver is, of course, a huge alcoholic.
He's reverted to drinking to get through this podcast. 4 episodes in and he can't handle it. Oliver, what did you think of the film?
Yeah.
In general.
Oh no, I don't want to say overall stuff. You've summed it up. It wasn't great. I wasn't a fan. Can we please talk about the opening scine? Because that's I feel like one of
you
the
go on
more-
about this because this was something you wrote about when you watched.
I mean,
this
because
film.
when I first watched this film, it was midnight. I didn't know what I was in for. I thought, fun family film about a dog, sure thing. And it opens in quite a, frankly, nightmarish way. The cameraman is having the time of his life, stumbling all over the place. The camera cannot stay still for one moment. Sickening camera angles.
I theorised some sort of inner ear problem. He just can't keep the fucking camera straight.
And this is seen as basically a dog. Air Bud is intruding on a basketball game. That's the premise summed up, but it goes on for about 4 minutes, and it's like this horrific fever dream. I'll read my notes. That was my horrified notes that I was making.
I thought it owed a lot to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. nice little homage there. Not necessarily something I'd have chosen for, a children's film about dogs, but
No.
I thought it was nice all the same.
Just lots of crash zoom.
Here's my live reaction to it. Spinning crash zoom into boy's face. Quotation marks. Oh no. Best moment of film yet. Nicely understated, not overly dramatic. He's clearly fully aware that he has a mischievous dog. I like that. Dog owners should expect that sort of thing. Those who freak out shouldn't have a dog. 4 minutes in, beginning to feel like a pretty nightmarish trip. The repetitive, funky groove of the music. The cameraman unleashing hell as people try to stop the dog. Weird echoing voices. Feel sick.
You felt sick?
Yeah. That was me narrating my own state of mind, and I felt, the camera's all over the place.
And just to put in perspective, you were watching a sequel to a film you'd never seen.
No,
You
that's
were
the
thrown
opening.
completely in the deep end for this one.
That's how I thought they were introducing the Air Bud franchise.
I'm glad you're still here with us today.
This
Oliver.
nightmare
Really
vision.
survived.
It's incredible. What do we think? I don't know. We've sort of given a bit of stuff about the characters. Is there anyone who stands out?
Okay, well, again, the coach, he's a good
guy.
He's a good guy. He's got a nice... There's a bit where Josh sees Patrick proposing to his mother in a pretty casual way. He just kind of comes up and says, hey, do you want to marry me? Not
Like
down
a
on
few
one knee or
months into
anything.
their relationship.
Yeah, they've not been
Yeah.
going on very long. It's very
It was a
sudden.
bit odd. But so Josh runs away from home, and there's a nice scene. I really enjoyed the scene. He's at the train station, and the coach just kind of comes out. The mother called him, so I assume he knew Josh was running away, and obviously anticipated him being at the train station. He just comes out. He kind of casually engages in conversation, and using the Socratic method, convinces him that you can love two things at once. He can learn to love Patrick while still loving his old dad. Who again is a clan in Canada now. So yeah, I think that was quite a nice scene.
Yeah.
The coach just kind of genuinely seems to want, like, I don't know, often I feel like...
He said he coached the football for the love of kids.
Exactly, and
Which
I feel
felt to be deeply disturbing.
Well, read like that, Jamie. Read with the depraved mind of yourself.
What can I say? I traded my soul for Hubba Bubba. So
Exactly. You're not a man
you
who
don't
feels
understand
love
the
for things.
concept.
clearly I'm pretty far gone at this point, guys.
But just speaking, as we were before, like in terms of like the paint by numbers coach figure from sports films, I feel like often they're ones that, I mean, contrasting with the coach from the last film who only cared about winning, I think it was quite nice to see one who genuinely seemed to really care about the kids. And I think that was a nice departure from the norm.
Speaking of the coach from the first film, actually, there was a quite harrowing scene in which he was throwing balls at Josh's friend Tom, I believe.
Yeah, Tom.
And it was quite horrific, and it's like, this is very dark. It's the darkest scene in the movie, and clearly based on this film, it's had quite the impact on Tom. He's sexually depraved. He's a creepy man. He's, what I love about 11th grade?
It's 8th grade. It's 8th grade.
That's the one.
No, it's 8th.
The girls are starting to become women.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's just a very sort of sexual bent
Just
to
a really
his
vile character.
behaviour.
There's a really minor subplot with him and a romance of some woman.
Yeah, which goes absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, she says she has potential. So
Well, no, I
assume they
thought.
fucked.
I mean, Josh, I quite like how in the scene where they're like throwing the ball to each other, Josh looks properly disgusted with his friend. He's like, and I was thinking, why is he still his friend? But I thought, well, maybe the friend has some incriminating details about him, because Tom refers to Josh as killer arm. And it's like it's a throwaway comment. It's like, it's a killer arm. It's great at sports. But he says it a few times.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And if you look at Josh's eyes, there's fear that his friend will let slip something that he's not meant to.
They're the eyes of a stone cold killer.
So, he's essentially blackmailing them, and then Josh is going to cover up Tom's sexual crimes. I think that the horrible thing Josh did is he killed his father.
Shit.
It's not as intricate as Alistair's previous theory about the father. Hey, I'm no bloody rocket scientist, but I think he's killed him.
I think you could be onto something there.
I actually think our theories tie together. What if, in a kind of mad, drunken vengeance, Josh went to the house of Mr. Slappy Happy, or whatever he's called,
I don't know.
not knowing that he was his father, of course, because of the massive reconstructive surgery.
Is this post Airbud 1?
Post Airbud 1, yes. And he actually killed him.
He's not satisfied with the court case. Josh Fram is out for blood. Yeah, this is plausible.
Oh my god.
I like it. Just
it's good.
fucking burned his house down with him in it.
'Twas I who set the house ablaze.
I like it.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think that we should take that as canon.
Yeah, didn't realise. Yeah, okay, that's good.
So another character I thought, you guys touched on, or definitely Alistair touched on quite a bit, was a small kid with glasses.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about this because this also ties into my prevailing theory for this film. So there's this kind of weird kid on the football team, and he doesn't really seem to have a defined role. He's a kind of aide de camp of the chief, the coach. Sorry,
Yeah.
he kind of carries his hat. He whispers things to him.
Yeah, this kid couldn't be any more than 5 or 6
He's very
years old.
small.
He's really young.
He's very small.
Well, he
He's got
looks a
big
bit older, but
glasses.
he's really quite small.
Yeah.
He's maybe
Yeah.
stunted growth.
I think that he's actually
It's
just
the asthma medication.
probably a lot older than he looks, but he's stunted because of some horrible birth condition.
Yeah, we can only speculate.
And I think that he's actually the mastermind behind not only the football team, but also some of the greatest crimes of the 20th century.
Crimes such as...
Well, the stealing of the Mona Lisa, among others. I mean,
9/11.
some of them are so horrible that we don't even know about them, Jamie. That's how
Not 20th
devious.
century.
That's how devious this boy is.
Yeah, that's true. 9/11 was in fact not the
2001.
21st century. Not the 20th century, it was the 21st, that's right.
But I have a few pieces of
Early on.
evidence to back this up.
Starting with a bang.
There's, God,
I'm sorry.
there's a scene where he's drawing up the strategic,
right.
things for the football team. The coach doesn't seem to have any part in it. He seems to control the strategy of the football team.
Yeah. There's a lot of faith to be putting into a fairly small child.
Yeah, I mean, if he was actually a mere 7-year-old, then why is he the one doing all the strategy? And he just generally seems to have a real hand in running the team. The coach delivers motivational speeches and, inspires...
And accepts everyone who wants to join the team. We got room for a few more players.
I don't know if there are actually limits on how
don't know
many
that
people
you
you
do,
can
I
have in American football teams. I don't play
Well,
American
they're not all
football.
actually playing on the team. You can have as many. I guess maybe.
I mean, if you want to run like a team of 40 subs, by all
guess.
means,
Yeah.
if they're all fine with it, there's surely not.
It just
illegal.
doesn't seem entirely likely.
Yeah, no. Definitely unlikely.
I mean, we'd
But
have to
yeah,
have a look in the rule book.
this kid actually seems to do most of the kind of groundwork of the coaches in devising the formations and the logistical side of things. And we see him literally whispering commands to the coach during the final game.
Really poor acting though from this.
No, I
This
disagree.
This kid looks vacant in most scenes.
I'm a big fan.
I strongly disagree. He was probably my favourite part. He was a standout for me.
Alright.
In the very first scene we see him, we see Josh Fram fuck up royally. He just kind of dithers and then he gets tackled immediately.
Yep.
And we see the kid just kind of slap his pencil against his clipboard. He's always got a pencil and clipboard. Pure sign of genius.
It's because of prodigy.
Exactly. No, but he just kind of like slams his pencil and looks real disappointed. And the rest of the time, sometimes he's emotionless, yes. But that only portrays the character that he's playing, which is that of, like a mastermind. You can't expect a man with an IQ of 216 to like react that strongly.
I can and I will. You clearly have very low standards.
I'm sorry, Jamie, but that's simply not an accurate portrayal of a super genius.
Well, yeah, okay. We'll agree to disagree on that one. I thought he was shit. Alisdair thinks he is the next DiCaprio. Any highlights? Any just moments that we thought?
Grew up to beat it.
Yeah, absolutely highlights. There's a dog wearing sunglasses and a fucking beret at the vet. You know, who dresses their dog up to visit the vet? Surely they've got to, the vet's going to, we've got to take those clothes off. We've got to examine him. You know, you've got to look his best. So
I think that dog is probably the star of like his own separate dog film. And he's just like
it's a crossover.
It's a shared universe.
I'd like to think there's a spin-off movie about the monkey at the dog. The kidnappers have taken a monkey.
Chimp. He's not a monkey.
He's a chimp. They call him a monkey a lot.
Well,
it rubbed off on me.
He's not a monkey. He doesn't have a tail. He is a chimpanzee.
Hey.
He is an ape.
It's absolutely true. He's good. He's a star. I like the animals the best. I feel like in this movie, I never really buy the drama. It sort of stands or falls on the comedy offered, and it was pretty sort of sparse.
Yeah.
I like the subtle comedy of the coach saying, "My practices are no picnic," while he's eating a sandwich, traditional food of a picnic. That's sort of the best jokes we've got here. It's not
really
the villains aren't sort of up to happy slappy standards.
Not funny at all. Shit.
Even Patrick, he's just a really nice guy. Like, there's no reason for
He's
Josh
a fairly
not liking
one-note
him.
character.
He just seems like a really nice dude.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have added a bit of texture to his character. Like,
Was it like he was a violent abuser?
well, no, obviously not. Like,
Texture.
That's some real texture.
but he just seems like a real stand-up dude. And I mean, I can understand that Josh is still conflicted about having a new father.
Yeah.
But I don't
But surely
know.
this is the best possible
Yeah,
man
he's a
to
really
do it.
decent
He's
guy.
a very one-note guy. Like,
Yeah.
he just kind of
You can't
he does what
cockblock
the
your
plot
mother
demands
forever,
of him.
yeah.
He doesn't feel real. He feels very flat.
A highlight for
Good
me.
performance, though.
Highlight for me
He's
was
good.
in a scene towards the end. Josh is coming home after he's sort of run away, if you will. And the mother goes in to hug him, and I just noticed on her hand she had a band-aid, just a band-aid on her thumb, and I just really loved it. I thought it brought some realism. You know, like I'm assuming that woman actually probably just had a cut on her thumb, and she was just wearing a band-aid in the scene. You know, and it's like, yeah, you know, but people get cuts on their thumbs. It grounded the scene for me, and I really applaud the creative team behind this movie, and I applaud the actress for really bringing it to that scene that day. She really sold me. So that's my favourite scene. It's a small thing to touch upon, but I thought
Small but human.
small but human, and probably for me was the only redeeming quality of the film. So, Alisdair, highlight from you.
Oh, this is quite difficult. I don't really know if I have a highlight. I mean,
It's hard to find a highlight in such a
Did I
piece
do a
of
highlight?
shit. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you
I'm just
did.
kidding. I really didn't hate that movie.
you did the dog with glasses.
Was that a highlight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
you said that the dog with glasses and a beret was your highlight.
It was.
Oliver is
Good.
deeply inebriated. My highlight, well, I don't know. I really did like that kid in the first scene. I really bought his kind of look of disgust at Josh's.
The glasses kid?
Yeah, the glasses kid.
Fair enough.
I bought that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably my highlight. There was quite an amusing scene where the two Russian dog nappers are falling down a hill, and they're very clearly propelling themselves.
Yeah.
Like they're going to active efforts to kind of jump down this hill because it's not very steep.
No.
It's a kind of small hillock, and they just
No,
absolutely
they're clearly
fly
propelling
down
themselves
it.
physically. They're
They're
really
making this much
jumping.
harder on themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks as if they've been struck by some kind of massive force.
You could stop yourself from falling down that hill quite immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah.
stay still.
Nothing will happen,
yeah,
and then they like literally fly into a pond. So, just the sheer kind of cartoonish absurdity.
And there's
of that
also a
scene.
pig at that pond for no reason.
Oh, that's
It
bizarre.
just cuts to a
That's
shot of
true.
a pig just standing at the pond.
Yeah.
What's
I don't know what the fuck that was about.
That was odd.
Yeah, that was really
It's
weird.
like it's setting that up for something later
Yeah.
on in the movie. It's like, what's this pig?
I mean, there are
doing?
pigs in their zoo.
Apparently nothing.
But
But they don't capture that pig or anything. Like it's.
maybe they did have a vengeance.
But not on screen.
Do they
it's
do, yeah,
weird.
I don't remember seeing that.
It's no,
Really odd touch there.
a very odd directorial decision. Maybe there was just a pig on set.
And they're like, shit, get a shot of that pig. And then they just slipped it in the movie later on. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good shot.
Who knows, eh?
Visually
One day we'll
stunning.
have to
Because it's not like they landed in like a pigsty.
No,
like,
it was just
I
a
could
pond.
see that.
Do you
It's
know
like-
the
They were just like
director?
by the... Oh, shit, no, I can't.
I believe it was Tim Robbins.
No, it was not Tim Robbins, star of Shawshank Redemption. It was completely... Alisdair's left the
This
room.
is deeply unprofessional. What if I left now? You'd have to carry this alone.
Okay, you guys...
Because I really do need to urinate.
Do you actually?
Not at the same time as him.
No, come on. You can't leave me here by myself.
I won't. But I'm imagining.
Is
it.
Alisdair actually going to the bathroom? What is he doing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Close the door
All professionalism is going out the door.
Okay.
It's a shit show.
Oh, well, that's-
you could probably... listen. No, he shut the door.
Okay, he shut the door.
You
But
could hear the sound of his
yes,
piss.
I was keen for
Hitting
that
the water
not
on
to
the
happen. But so what are we?
I feel like we don't really have much else to discuss about this.
I actually wrote a script. I wrote a speculative storyline for
okay,
episode
go on
3.
to that.
Would you like? It's quite long. It's not.
Yeah,
I don't know. It'd be about 3 minutes.
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to do a bit more creative writing recently, and Air Bud sort of inspired me because that's going through my. Should I just? Alice is gone. I'll just go for
Just
it.
read it. You know, all bets are off.
Sure. All right, you can comment as appropriate.
All right.
Josh Fram lay back on his bed and sighed. So here he finally was, college. It was hard saying goodbye to his beloved hometown, but it was time to start a new chapter, to move on. Well, mostly. He looked over to the corner of his small room and smiled. There sat Buddy's kennel. His mother had been curiously reluctant to let him take the dog. When he had announced that Buddy would be coming with him, she burst into tears and poured herself a not inconsiderable portion of gin. It was hard to hear over the sobbing, but it sounded like, "What's happened to you?" repeatedly. Classic mum, right? But ever since Josh's friend Tom had been in prison for sexual assault, Buddy had been his only friend. A fairly uncontrollable one, intent on bursting in on any sports games, but at least he wasn't a sex pest. Well, it was a little bit, but just the standard dog level. On his first day, Josh had joined the college hockey team. He hadn't really played before, but when the coach asked him about his experience, he confidently strode forward, declaring, "Not since I was 9. He leaned into the coach, staring intently and winking. Or should I say, K9. Shaken by the bizarre experience, the coach was keen never to see Josh again, but the team was short of players. They had to take him. After a number of practices which made it very clear that Josh was absolutely useless at the game, the rest of the team was worried. But Josh would always wink and say, "Wait till the big game. Then you'll see my secret weapon." The other men, not keen on the prospect of Josh showing them his penis, stopped talking to him. But finally, it was the day of the first game. After some truly abominable play, halftime came. "All right, boys, we're losing badly. It'll take a miracle to win this one." "A miracle, you say?" Josh looked towards the open entrance of the gymnasium, preparing himself for Buddy's spectacular entrance. And just as the whistle blew for the second half to start, 4 well-built canine legs came bursting through the door. Josh leapt in the air triumphantly, but it became immediately apparent that the dog approaching the team was not Buddy. It was the coach's Rottweiler, Saucy Ellen. And upon arrival, did a really big shit. Josh broke down, lying on the floor and screaming. He couldn't keep fooling himself. It was tearing his life apart, for Buddy had died a few years previously. He was never coming back. And then the people who I've paid to make this movie happen, they're pretty keen on a montage of Buddy suffering from sarcoma, hacking up blood, collapsing, and they want Coldplay's The Scientist to play. While a narrator says, "Synovial sarcoma is a rare form of cancer that affects soft tissue near the joints of the arm, leg, or neck.
I can't do this.
It affects many dogs, even ones who don't play sports really well. Please give generously to stop this." And the camera pans up and Buddy is playing basketball in heaven.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
So that's sort of my plan for Air Bud 3.
Got a lot of goddamn demons in you.
I believe the filmmakers are called the Cancer Society. They've picked it up.
Oh, I really hope that is what Air Bud 3 is about.
Yeah, I don't know. We might watch it one day.
A darker turn to the franchise.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
I think we've pretty much covered most bases, haven't we?
Jesus, I fucking hope so. I don't know if I can go on after that.
I just want to give a quick update. Still no word back from Tim Allen, so
I mean, he's probably not checked his emails. He's quite busy.
No, you know, you've got to
He's
imagine Tim hasn't much time to check his emails.
I'm sure it's not out of any malice. Like,
No, I'm sure we'll get around to it.
Got a lot of boats to clean.
And when I do hear from him, I will let you know. So, just wanted to update you, you know, in case you were sitting there going, "Oh, I wonder if Jamie's heard from Tim Allen yet." I haven't.
no.
I'm hoping to. we'll be in touch.
If anything, the tone of your emails has become more aggressive.
Well, that's, just naturally. I've had to amp up the
You've
stakes
had
a bit.
to.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, how else do you expect a response?
I've asked for his blood. Really just hoping it'll get his attention. Just wanted to share some thoughts with him about Toy Story 4 as well.
Is that coming out? Is that happening?
Unfortunately, it's happening, guys. So I just wanted to really, well, first of all, obviously, I wanted to ask him about his personal life, as we discussed in the Shaggy Dog, but also just wanting to send him some hefty threats to basically
make that a good film.
Call off any sort of production on Toy Story 4.
I mean, maybe it'll be good.
I don't know. I feel like you did.
I mean, they've got a pretty good hit rate. They're all good films.
Well, I mean, Pixar has not got a 100% hit rate. Look at Cars 2. What a piece of shit.
I haven't seen it.
Cars 1.
Cars 1.
I like Cars 1.
Because Cars 1's
Tipping
Cars
over
1 is good.
like the tractors
it's like not quite up to Pixar standards, but then like Cars 2 is just like
it's
this
weird.
Is just not
I
even.
fundamentally don't give a shit about cars.
Yeah, okay, alright, well that's for another podcast.
You're in my car.
Alisdair, before we
I
leave,
feel safest.
I can lock all my doors. Okay, Alisdair, before we go, what film will we watch next time?
I'm very excited by this announcement. It's one that we've all been anticipating for quite some time, Oliver especially, because next week we'll be watching Karate Dog.
Oh, starring what was that Chevy Chase?
Chevy Chase, yeah, voices
Chevy Chase. It's about a dog who does karate.
There's a bit of karate in it, I believe.
Yeah, we can assume there's some karate involved.
All right.
But that'll be next time. Until then, get your bloody hands off my Dogcast. You piece of shit.
How many times do we have to tell you?
It's really getting quite ridiculous.